Cowboys roster news, Dallas scheduled to meet with free agent pass rusher Tyus Bowser. The Cowboys are reportedly set to meet with free agent pass rusher Tyus Bowser. On Monday, we learned of CeeDee Lamb's long-awaited deal. It is a 4-year, $136 million extension, $34 million per year, and the details suggest he got everything he wanted. A few hours after that, it was reported that the Cowboys were bringing in free agent running back Dalvin Cook for a visit. With questions still lingering about the run game, any help helps. Despite having addressed the defensive line in a number of ways over the last 2-ish weeks, the Cowboys are back at it. It was reported on Tuesday morning that they are bringing in veteran free agent pass rusher Tyus Bowser for a visit. In addition to RB Dalvin Cook, the Cowboys are scheduled to meet with DE Tyus Bowser, who played for the Baltimore Ravens. Injuries kept him off the field for most of the last 2 years. Bowser has 6 seasons served in the NFL, and all of them were with the Baltimore Ravens. He has accumulated 19.5 sacks in that time. The 2023 season was a lost one for Bowser, as he did not play at all. Here is what our friends at Baltimore Beatdown wrote on the situation when the Ravens released him back in March. There's a shroud of mystery regarding Bowser's absence in 2023. The team wouldn't give much comment on why Bowser wasn't playing. At training camp, head coach John Harbaugh said they expected him to work back into playing by the start of the season, as he started the season on the non-football injury list. Then, when he wasn't on the field in Week 1, there was talk he'd be returning soon. Soon never arrived, and Bowser never took the field. Bowser was often seen in the locker room and denied speaking with media on multiple occasions. He was on the sidelines on game days throwing the football with fans, and also seen on his phone underneath the goalpost during pregame. Whatever was going on, it seems that Bowser feels ready to play for the 2024 season. It is worth noting that while his last active season was 2022, that he only played 9 games that year. Cowboys have no plans to look for help at cornerback. As I am sure most of you all have already heard, the Cowboys lost Darren Bland this weekend. He suffered a fracture in his foot that will require surgery. As a result, the injury could keep him sidelined from 6 to 8 weeks. Bland's injury was diagnosed after feeling soreness in his foot during training camp in Oxnard. This news happened a few days after Stephon Gilmore, who played with Dallas last season, signed a 1-year, $10 million deal with the Vikings. In my opinion, that is way too much money for him anyway, even if Dallas thought about bringing him back before the Bland news. If Darren Bland falls in the 6 to 8 week recovery period, then the Cowboys are looking at a potential return perhaps as soon as October 5th versus Pittsburgh. They play the Lions October 13th and have their bye week October 20th. Jerry being Jerry. Jerry Jones was asked after Saturday's preseason loss to the Chargers if they would think about bringing in any help at corner with the loss. He, of course, shut down any hope of them doing so. Not at all. Not in any way. No. Not at all, Jerry said. The good news is we've got some guys that have really shown well in camp. We won't be looking at all. Right on cue, Jerry Jones is telling us all how he loves his guys. Every time he says that, it comes back to bite him. They made it work a year ago when Diggs went down because they had Gilmore to step in on the roster already. Now they don't, and although they get Diggs back, they will be depending on younger guys. 5th-round pick Kalen Carson, who has had a stellar training camp. The Cowboys also have Andrew Booth Jr., who they traded for 2 weeks ago. Jerry Jones on Kalen Carson, the 5th-round pick who could take over for Darren Bland. pic.twitter.com/UXAECPHSGP. Booth recorded a pick 6 in the preseason after being acquired by the team. What if? If the Cowboys start to get beat up in the secondary, or if they lose someone else, Jerry will have no choice but to look outside. If he does, who is even around? Xavier Howard is the first name that comes to mind. He is a 4-time Pro Bowler, 2020 First-Team All-Pro, two-time NFL interceptions leader, 2018, 2020, 29 career interceptions, second most in NFL since 2016. The most accomplished free agent is Patrick Peterson, and although he is 34, he wouldn't be asked to do a ton for Mike Zimmer's defense. Peterson is an 8-time Pro Bowler, 3-time First-Team All-Pro, 2010's All-Decade Team member, 36 career interceptions since entering in 2011, second most in NFL. J.C. Jackson is one last name that the Cowboys could consider signing if needed. Early in his career, he looked like to be the next great one, but things did not work out after he signed a huge contract with the Chargers. He made the Pro Bowl in 2021 and even won the Super Bowl with the Patriots. The problem is he will be suspended for the first game of the 2024 season for violating the league's personal conduct policy. Don't count on it. I really don't think Jerry will sign anyone unless another corner gets hurt. If Carson can hold it down until Bland gets back, it will allow Jordan Lewis to stay put at the nickel corner spot. They should be okay. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones on at 10:53 The Fan on Darren Bland's foot injury. The good news is he'll be here for the vital games at the end. He'll be out about 4 to 5 weeks to start the season. We're in great shape at corner because of our young guys coming in. That's one of the. It still stinks thinking about, the cornerback spot is their best unit on the football field. This defense should be better under Mike Zimmer. The Cowboys did beef the defensive line after losing Sam Williams to a torn ACL. The Cowboys' luck is not on their side when it comes to losing players before the season even starts. This defense would have been even better if both of these guys were about to suit up for Week 1. The start to this season has a chance to quiet a lot of people early, or be a complete disaster if CeeDee Lamb is not signed. Cowboys bringing 4-time Pro Bowl RB in for free agency visit, report. The Dallas Cowboys are just days away from the start of the NFL regular season, and they may be making a huge last-minute addition. While the Cowboys have already brought back Ezekiel Elliott, they are in talks with free agent running back Dalvin Cook. On August 26, NFL Network insider Tom Pelissero announced that Dallas was bringing the veteran RB in to talk about a potential move. The hashtag Cowboys might not be done. Sources say 4x Pro Bowl RB Dalvin Cook is flying to Dallas tonight for a visit, Pelissero wrote on X. Unlike a year ago, when he was rehabbing from shoulder surgery, Cook has hit the weights all offseason and says he feels the best he has in years. While Cook struggled mightily in 2023, he was named to 4 consecutive Pro Bowls from 2019 to 2022. If the Cowboys sign Cook and get him back to his best, then they could land a serious upgrade for their RB room. That being said, Cook is the same age as Elliott and has seen a lot of usage over his career. His best years are likely behind him, and adding him would likely be a short-term effort. Cook can't get going in 2023. For 4 seasons, Cook was essentially the spearhead of the Minnesota Vikings offense. After joining Minnesota as a second-round pick in the 2017 NFL Draft and overcoming early injury issues, Cook made a case for being an elite RB in the league. But after a 4th straight season with 1,100-plus rushing yards and 6-plus touchdowns, Cook parted ways with the Vikings. He joined the New York Jets in free agency before the 2023 season, but it was a disastrous situation. Cook was healthy for the majority of the year, but failed to make an impact and saw his role slowly shrink. According to Pro Football Reference, Cook only totaled 214 yards in 2023, averaging 3.2 yards per carry. For context, Cook averaged 4.7 yards per carry during his time in Minnesota. Cook was eventually released and signed by the Baltimore Ravens as reinforcements for the playoffs. He took 8 handoffs for 23 yards in the Ravens' 34-10 win over the Houston Texans in the AFC divisional round. Cowboys release RB before Dalvin Cook visit. Just hours before Pelissero's report on Cook's visit, the Cowboys released a wave of players including RB Nathaniel Pete. Dallas announced the full list of releases on X on August 26. Pete joined Dallas as an undrafted free agent after going undrafted in the 2024 NFL Draft. The 24-year-old was a rotational weapon during his college career at Missouri and Stanford. His highest single-season rushing yard total was 434 in 2022. He also chipped in 2 TDs that year. The Cowboys have to cut down their squad to 53 players, but they're clearly still shaping the roster as they look to bring in Cook.